Kate Crowley from Teachers College, Columbia University, part of leadersproject.org, and I'm here at one of my favorite places in the world, Accra, Ghana, with my friends and colleagues who are part of the University of Ghana Speech Language Therapy Program. Today we're going to talk a little bit about non-speech oral motor exercises using the work of Maggie Watson and Greg Loft, who published this paper at ASHA in 2011. We find it useful, and I hope you do too.
Non-speech oral motor exercises are techniques that do not involve speech productions but are used to influence speaking abilities. These often include blowing bubbles and horns, tongue pushes, wax, curling, pucker or smile movements, and other mouth gymnastics.
Although often used by many speech and language therapists, the legitimate professional literature refutes the appropriateness of non-speech oral motor exercises for intervention to change speech sound productions. Parents may request non-speech oral motor exercises be used because their child's previous speech and language therapist used non-speech oral motor exercises. Non-speech motor oral exercises objectives may already be in the child's IEP.
Some parents may have also read testimonial information on the internet encouraging non-speech oral motor exercises. There's a proliferation of attractively packaged non-speech oral motor exercise products available for purchase. Other professionals such as OTs and PTs recommend their use. These exercises provide something concrete for parents to do with their children under the guise of therapy.
The LT has my child practicing sticking her tongue in and out and side before working on speech. Is this a good idea?
These non-speech movements will not help with speech because the parts of the brain that control speech is different from the part that control non-speech movement. It's a brain thing.
My child can move his tongue up and down quickly. So why can't he make the tongue sounds like the L and the T?
What you said is true. When it comes to the tongue, it can make different kinds of movements. But however, tongue movement for speech are controlled by different parts of the brain than movement that does not involve speech. So that is why.
The SLT working with my child says that exercises warm up the mouth. What's wrong with that?
Because limited strength is needed to speak, warm-up exercises is not really necessary. While a few mild movements may provide focus on the area, it should just be a minor part of therapy.
My child has a repaired cleft lip and palate. To me, it makes sense that blowing is a good way to get his speech not to come out of his nose.
For over 50 years, it's been proven that blowing exercises will not stop the air from coming out through the nose. It's surprising that this technique is still being used.
The last SLT my child had said oral motor exercises will help improve speech awareness. Don't you think my child needs to become aware of mouth movements in order to improve speech?
I've heard a few parents ask this question. However, research has shown that children are not aware of mouth movements. So, children need to learn mouth movements that affect speech, not movements that are not speech.
I've read information by experts on the internet that these exercises work and that they are necessary for speech. It's all over the internet, so it must be legitimate.
Well, you should use caution about believing information on the websites. Research shows that a technique works, not opinion, not testimonials, and not expert advice. While these statements may be interesting, they do not prove that exercises work. Special care should be taken when you are encouraged to buy a product.
There's a question I would like to ask you. I've learned that physiotherapists and occupational therapists often use exercises to improve motor skills. Isn't speech a motor skill?
Yes, but speech is much more than a motor skill because it involves communication. Speech is different from other motor tasks. Speech is special because it involves language. Speech motor tasks are organized in the brain in a unique way.
Thank you very much for this information.
You're welcome, my dear.
Ma'am, according to occupational therapist, my child has speech problems because her mouth isn't strong enough. Isn't strengthening the mouth so important?
Very little strength is needed to produce speech. Agility and coordination are needed, not strength. Also, it's surprisingly difficult to determine strength. Therefore, any statement about weakness should be questioned.
Wow, this is helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.